Hello, hey, what's up? This is episode 22 of the Throwaway Days podcast. The Throwaway Days is a podcast mostly, sometimes a zine when I have enough money, a blog, or a website when someone else is paying for the hosting that focuses primarily on DIY rap and skateboarding as perceived by me, Cody Jones. This episode we have on Lieutenant Headtrip. Headtrip is a rapper, a producer, a booking agent, a label manager, just a guy with a lot of hats who was based in New York City, originally from Kent, Ohio. Headtrip's probably the dude that I have known the least that I interviewed. Maybe, actually, I think I may have known Big Breakfast less, but I don't really know how you measure that sort of thing. Hey, I know him 30% less. But yeah, and I still think with that in mind, the interview went well because we just run in like such similar circles. It's like, oh, you do indie rap in New York? Well, I do it throughout the Rust Belt and beyond. Oh, you do it beyond too? Okay, we know all these same people, blah, blah, blah. But it was cool. I don't know, it's just cool for me to hear these dudes' stories. That's why I like doing this. To me, New York's always been like hard to break into for some reason. I've played there a few times, but never had much luck. So it was cool just to hear him like talk about a bunch of the people that he's working up there on whatever with, you know? I feel like there's as many people involved in like the New York scene as there are throughout like the whole Rust Belt. So everyone I met in like Pittsburgh, Youngstown, Cleveland, Buffalo, stuff like that, it's like the same amount of people he's working with directly in New York. And it was cool. It's just cool to hear all that stuff. He's originally from Kent, Ohio, so we talk a little bit about that. I've definitely been to Kent a few times. And it was cool. He just, right after high school, he got out of there because he knew he wanted to make rap music. And to make rap music, he had to go where there was more rapping. You know, he could have been king shit of Turd Mountain in Kent forever, probably. But it was cool that he saw New York as a better way to push himself and just right away went there. Yeah, we did this interview whenever Headtrip was touring through Philadelphia with Ray Strife and Googie. And I just took him aside for a minute and we went upstairs and did this interview. And he made weird sex jokes after about us blowing each other in my friend Ryan's room. So I guess that was cool, you know? He's an intense dude. Like, whether you're seeing him perform, listening to him on record, talking to him just through an email whenever he's, like, booking shows, he's definitely, like, on point. Or if you're being the joint butt end of his dirty little sex jokes, there's just, like, a lot of energy to expect from Headtrip. But, yeah, he's throwing this tour in support of his new album, Comedy of the Filth Beast, which I picked up that night. At the time, it was an advance copy, and I felt very special, but now it's out, so you can all listen to it. And it's dope. It's really good. He has a lot of range I didn't know he had. I'd seen him perform before, and I thought he was always just doing the yelly, pour beer on myself thing, which is cool. But he actually has a lot of range. There's like some really dense writing in it, and it's great. It's an awesome album. You should check it out. Comedy of the Filth Beast by Lieutenant Headtrip. Yeah, so that interview is coming up. And just so you know, in case I never said this before, there's always like discrepancies in my interviews, things I like fuck up, and I just don't really take the time to correct. This is like fake news at its finest. But I'm working on it. Hopefully, I don't know, I took some shit out of this one. I didn't even know when the Kent shootings were, and I took it out to make myself not look like an idiot, but now I'm telling you, I asked that in the interview and cut it out, so I might look like more of an idiot now, but whatever. So besides this interview, what's up with me? I got a short tour coming up with I Alive. If you listen to this or follow me on any social media, you probably know this by now. It's called 4 to the Floor. Thursday, July 27th will be in York County, Pennsylvania. Mostly because one of my friends lives there who wants to trade me moonshine for my merch. Friday, July 28th will be in Cincinnati at the AYE Fest, Adjust Your Eyes Fest, AE Fest, if you want to get into it like that. Saturday we'll be in Charleston, West Virginia at the Empty Glass. That'll be great. I haven't played there in a long time. Dinosaurs is playing. They're the shit. And then Sunday, July 30th, we're in Westchester. at Sprout Music Collective with a bunch of rappers. So it's going to be cool. We're taking our bikes. We're releasing a split cassette for that, 4 tracks on each side. We're going to ride bikes. We're going to get drunk. I'm going to skateboard. We're going to play rap shows. It's going to be rad. And if I know I Alive, we'll definitely be working on music while we're out there too, because that's all that dude does. So that's cool. That's cool. Do I sound... Yeah, I sound like a weirdo. What else is up? This weekend, right now it's Friday. I don't know what the fuck day it is. Friday something. And my brother's on the X Games tonight, so I'm just hanging out. I'm going to watch that. Adam Jones, freestyle motocross. He's just doing the damn thing. This has been like a ritual for like at least 10 years where I watch him get gnarly, and then I just like drink beer and I cheer him on through the TV. It's cool. And then after that, what's up? Dan Dillinger and One Word are on tour right now, and actually I'm not going to be in town when they play Philadelphia, but they're driving past Philly to get to Trenton, and they actually hit me up to see if I want to do an interview with them, which was tight because I don't have another interview lined up after this one. So probably before the end of July, I'll put up that interview with those dudes. It's good. It like lights a fire into my ass, because otherwise I work for like an hour and then I quit. I'm like, yep, I got it. I'm doing really good for myself. But it's good. Someone's got to keep me on track. People wanting interviews, people wanting to hear them. That's good. If you're either of those, let me know, and I'll stop being lazy, hopefully. Internet skateboards is going well. I got my quote-unquote team riders. I only put them in quotes, not because they're not ballers, because I don't really have a lot of product to give them. I'm like, hey dudes, want 2 boards a month? Here you go. But they're all coming to Philly this weekend, and we're going to skate and get drunk. I guess that's all I do. But hopefully film some shit. Hopefully I have an edit with that. It's going to be rad. Super fucking rad. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about nothing before this interview. But yeah, this is the interview with Lieutenant Headtrip. Check it out. He's the man. Definitely check out his new album. It was really dense and really good. Yeah, you don't need me to tell you that. Or do you? I don't know. I don't know what you need. But if you need me to tell you anything, your life's not going well, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, this is the interview I did with Headtrip. I'm Cody Jones. I do things. He does things. Internet Skateboards does things. You do things. We're all just doing the damn thing. Rambling nervous in my sweaty room because my fan and AC are off, so I can do this. All right, let's just check out the interview. Thanks. All right, so you're Lieutenant Headtrip. Mm-hmm. Is it just Headtrip, or is that like...
Headtrip is the producer name. Lieutenant Headtrip is the rapper name. I like to have a distinction between my producer moniker and my rapper moniker. And it's kind of ridiculous, but I started it, so I'm just rolling with it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, I know people that do that.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing I really know about you is you're in Karma Kids and you're originally from Kent, Ohio. What was like? I've been to Kent. Like,
where'd you play?
I played at Checkers and Trophies.
Nice.
A few times.
Yeah.
I played some. They'll never listen to this. Some terrible house show for like 16-year-olds like last year.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was weird.
Damn.
And like the local kid, I was with Joey Smooth and we tried to be like, hey man, good job. He's like, yeah, I'm playing the show next week if you want. We're like, no, we're like on
we're the touring act.
We're just being nice, really. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I just got fucking snuffed out. Like, this kid who's still with his parents.
That's whack.
But yeah, what was growing up in Kent like?
It was dope. I was born in Toledo. I was in Kent by the time I was in 5th grade. And, well, I lived in Streetsboro first, which was kind of a dumpy place, but I was too young to realize it.
Yeah.
Moved to Kent. And we basically had full reign of the university in the summer because none of the college students were there.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, they do all these programs where they fill it up with, foreign students and summer classes and shit. But back then, we used to just ride our fucking bikes through the fucking academic buildings, play tag in the rec center, because none of the buildings were locked.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And, there is just a very anti-cop, they call it a hippie town.
Kent?
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I feel like Ohio has a bunch of like hippie college towns.
Yeah.
Which is like I don't expect that from.
Well, this is what happened. Fucking 4 people got shot and killed on Kent State University peacefully protesting by the fucking National Guard. And I mean, it was always a little hippie town, you know, because learning promotes progressive thinking, and there's a lot of universities there, and there's just a lot of forward intellectualism in Ohio. We got the most astronauts. The Wright brothers were born in Ohio. Tons of inventors, and a lot of them started in Ohio and then got the fuck out. Yeah. Like the Wright brothers moved to North Carolina. Anyway, we won't get into the first in flight versus birthplace of aviation argument. So, you know, the protests were happening, and then they fucking just got shut down by the police, or by the National Guard, and it turned into this, like, well, fuck it. We can't, like, peacefully revolt against the system or be a part of it or change it, so we're just going to create this counterculture, which is why you see, like, a big hardcore scene in Akron and in Cleveland, and why you see a bunch of angry rappers. Yeah, you know, I've just been putting it together over the last couple of years. So, I don't know, basically, I felt, I was raised to be, like, military police. Yeah. And I didn't really think about it too hard when I was a kid. And then when I moved to New York, and especially recently that cameras are around and we can actually see cops shooting innocent people, especially black people, I'm like, oh my God, I've always had this anti-militarized police mentality because of where I'm from. And it just really hits hard. And it's like ingrained in me now. And it, I think like May 4th, 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, oh my God, finally I get it. Like finally I understand how big of a fucking problem this is. And I'm not just like, fuck the system. I'm like, fuck this. Yeah. So there was that growing up in Kent, freedom around the university. And then when I got older, I got into the hardcore scene. I didn't like, nobody wanted me in their band. I played bass, and everybody wanted me to just... I feel like every rapper has that problem. Like, oh, you don't want me in your band? Fuck you. I'll rap. Exactly. I played bass, but I wanted to write songs and, you know, contribute to the vocals and stuff. I'm not a very good singer, but I was like, I gotta do something. But everybody just wanted me to put shades on and hide in the back, you know. Yeah. But starting in 6th grade, my music teacher was teaching us how to use Sonic Foundry Acid and iMovie. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Yeah. That's so I was working on a DAW from 6th grade. Yeah. And I got real good at it. And basically 7th grade, 8th grade, recorded myself. By the time I hit high school, I was like, fuck everybody. You don't want me in your band? I have my bass. I'll play the high notes and pretend like it's a guitar, and I'll record myself. Realized I wasn't good at singing, and, you know, naturally landed at hip-hop. Yeah. Because I was writing wordy-ass lyrics anyway. Word. But that was all because of where I was. And then when I started writing songs, like, seriously, I basically ran my open mic at my school. Yeah. In Kent. And I would go... Your high school? Yeah, my high school. Damn, you, like, had such an early start on all this. Oh, yeah. My first rap group was 5th grade, the West Side Snipers, with Javier Daoud. Okay. We weren't West Side and we weren't snipers, but we thought we were super cool. Did you ever play, what was that spot, Club Chameleon in Kent? I had a rap battle at Club Chameleon. Really? Yeah, they used to have battles there. Yep. Who'd you battle? We're jumping like way ahead, but yeah. So me and my 2 best buddies that I came up rapping with, we entered this rap battle over there, and I remember the dude who won, or who was the head of the crew that won, was named Payne. Okay. And I was like, I got my eyes on him. I know that the judges are his boys and that they're going to push him to the top, and I'm just going to destroy him in the last round. If my boy Resin doesn't. Now, he's a better freestyler than me, but he was like rapping at the crowd instead of at the guy. Yeah. It was hard for him. Like, the performance. Yeah, he like hadn't been in a battle scenario before. Yeah. And he's not as aggressive as I am. I was like, let me eat him up. And he was like, I want to say all the things that are on my head and control the crowd. Because he was very like, he loved the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was all about him and us, you know, and I kind of ignored the audience at first. So we all go up, and I don't know if he made it to the second round. I definitely did, and my dude Bug did. And then I made it to the third round, and they brought back the dude who Bug beat to battle me.
Yeah.
Because it was an uneven number. And I was like, that's bullshit. This dude's already out, but he's your boy, so you're putting him on. They're like, that's how it goes. They were all a lot older than us, too.
Yeah.
We were like 17.
Yeah.
If that. We were young kids. And I just had all these bars in my head to fucking battle pain. And I get up there, and I'm battling this dude that my boy Bug already beat. I don't remember this guy's name, but they give me the 10 crack commandments. And I was like, oh my God, I got this. Was this battle? Yeah, it had to have been. I fucking slayed it. I was like, this is the 10 rap commandments, and I gave him fucking 10 reasons he should never rap again. Crowd went wild, everybody was happy. Bang, he spit a mediocre, half-written, half-freestyle at me. I hit him with another one like, I already beat you, I don't need to fucking even win this time, blah, blah, blah. Dissed him a little bit. Crowd was happy. He hit me with a really strong written. And his boys voted him on to the next round.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Bug lost third round, and Payne and him battled, and Payne won the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I went up to Payne afterwards, and I was like, you and your boys are running a baloney-ass battle here. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. And he's like, what, do you want to fight? And I'm like, nah, I want to battle you right now. I'll battle you for 3 hours straight. Like, this is bullshit. You're all spitting writtens up there. I bet you would fucking find the same exact verses on your mixtape, which is why you don't have them in your hand. Here's my fucking mixtape.
Yeah.
We called them demos back then, but, you know, when we left, we were all pissed. Fucking Chameleon, right in the corner of Crane and, is that Franklin?
I don't know. My first ever, like, show was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
You, like step down, there's, like, a stage. It's a nice place. It looked cool.
It was cool. But that's crazy, all that stuff was, like, happening in Kent. Mm-hmm. How long did you live in Kent for? Like, when did you...
5th grade to senior year of high school, and I got the fuck out.
Yeah. Straight to New York after that?
Straight to New York. I wanted to just move to New York and rap, but my parents were like, we'll pay for you to go on college visits. I'm like, all right. I was a good student, so they were hopeful. And I went on college visits just as a facade. I was like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to find an apartment and a job. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to afford anything. They're not going to let me. I was like working at Denny's in Ohio in Streetsboro, right off 80. And I was like,
probably making like
minimum
wage.
Nothing.
And it was like in Pittsburgh, it was 5, maybe 7 something an hour then.
Yeah, and I'd like I'd like $1 for giving somebody coffee for 7 hours.
Yeah,
you know?
Some like young ass punk kids.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. I was a smoker back then though. Oh, no cigarettes, but I worked the smoking section. I'd just keep a Lucky Strike burning in the employee room. I just come back, take a few drags. I liked the job, but it was not going to sustain me in New York. And nobody was going to hire me based on my Denny's in Ohio experience. So I was like, all right, I'll go to college out here. And I landed at Hofstra, which is on Long Island. Okay. Which I didn't really understand how far it was from the city. Yeah. Especially when you don't have money. If you got money in a car, you drive to the train station. It's a half an hour into Penn Station or so. Okay. But if you don't have money or a car, it's an hour walk to the train station. And then, you know... I would like hide in the bathroom so that the guy taking the tickets on the Long Island Railroad, because we didn't, there's no subways on Long Island. You got to take a larger train, the MTA, the Long Island Railroad. It's just like the MTA North, anything that takes you to Connecticut.
Yeah. It's like a real regional
thing. Anyway, started a house show scene on Long Island. I really just wanted to get signed to Def Jux, honestly. I was like, this is it. I'm just going to move to New York, make dope music in a basement, and then somehow LP is going to find out about it. Yeah, exactly. And I quickly realized that wasn't the case, but I just kept making the music.
Shit in like Kent,
and that's why I fucking left.
Yeah.
I remember,
at least you did.
Dude, yeah. I mean, and I got friends who are still there that I'm like, you could have fucking been something if you would have, like, I burned 50 copies of Scraps for the Travelers. It was a EP, 7 songs, 3 instrumentals, 4 songs with me rapping on them. And after the open mic that I hosted, sold every single one of them as people left.
In Kent.
And everybody, in Kent, and everybody at my school. Everybody's like, you're incredible. This is incredible. And I was like, could somebody give me one piece of constructive criticism?
Yeah.
Or just diss me? Like, I'm not that good. The shit that I listen to is on a totally other level. I know my beats aren't there. My voice is crap. I don't know how to record myself. Some of my lines are corny. So I was like, I'm just going to go where people are going to fucking push me to make better music.
That's awesome that you, like, saw that.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I mean, I was never like, look at me, I'm a special child. I was like, I want to be really fucking good at this.
Yeah. So tell me about being in Long Island and starting the basement scene and hoping LP shows up at shows.
Well, I lived on campus for a year, made friends with a bunch of sophomores, and was like, all right, we need to move this off campus. We all like had this plan. So me and my boy Waysdorf got this house off of Front Street in Hempstead. And Hempstead's kind of a rough place if you're walking around with your laptop under your arm. You know, somebody's probably going to snatch it up. You can buy heroin at the bodega from the kids around the corner. The guys at the counters aren't necessarily selling it. But, like, didn't bother me because I was like, fucking broke.
I didn't see a barcode on this.
Yeah.
How much is this bag of heroin?
I'm sorry, I'd like to make a return.
It was no good.
My friend died. It didn't really work out. But, like, I was broke, so I didn't really care. Nobody really ever fucked with me. I was just trying to drink 40s, roll blunts, and make music. So we lived at the end of this cul-de-sac, this dead end. It wasn't a cul-de-sac. It was just a dead end.
I was like, wow.
It was just a dead end. And I lived in the basement. It was a huge basement. I had a bedroom, and then there was a couple other rooms. But, like, the main room, we just had a drum kit there because I lived with a dude in a punk band. And we just, like, started throwing shows, and they got bigger and bigger, and I don't know, we'd pull out 50 to 100 people, the cops would come, shut it down.
Holy shit, 50 to 100.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that is.
Because it's a college scene, you know? So what do you have to do on a Thursday night?
Get drunk.
Yeah, and everybody smoked cigarettes inside.
Yeah.
And I remember people would be like, where do I ash? I'd be like, right there.
Right there.
But then the next day I'd wake up and clean everything. It got out of hand because I started drinking too much. But, like, it was fun. My dudes needed a drummer. Basically, the punk band I lived with didn't have a demo, so I recorded a demo for them. And that was the first time I recorded a punk band. Yeah. I was just recording my own raps.
Were you booking out of town groups, or was it just
not at first?
There's so much in New York.
Yeah, it was all Hofstra kids.
Oh, okay.
And this band, the Broosevelts, that I was living with, went through a couple drummers. Finally found this dude Dirk on Craigslist. And Dirk
on Craigslist.
Dirk from Craigslist, still one of my closest buddies. And he was like 10 years older than us and had been a part of a scene on Long Island.
Okay.
Before that. So we put on all of our friends in the basement. A lot of rappers didn't want to fuck with us though. We didn't throw parties with girls
so you're probably
this
like
is sophomore,
19, 20.
Yeah, this is sophomore, junior year, 1920.
Yeah, and it's hard to find like DIY, like indie rappers. They're like, oh, a dirty basement show? Sick.
Yeah.
Like,
and to me,
it's really a new thing.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like a lot of us are from the Rhymesayers, Def Jux era.
Yeah. Which was punk before, like, we liked punk before then.
Exactly. And, I mean, I liked hip-hop, and then I started liking punk, and then I went back to hip-hop.
Yeah.
Like, when I was back in high school, I started playing at hardcore shows. The drummer for the next band is late, plug my iPod into a bass amp and do 2 songs.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I first performed outside of my school.
Okay.
So I was super comfortable rocking with punk bands. We'd basically do 2 acoustic openers, 1 or 2 punk bands, and then my set.
Okay.
And any other rappers that I could convince to play. Because you can turn the volume down on the rap, but you can't turn the volume down on the drum kit.
Right.
Especially punk bands. You can't be like, could you play with brushes?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So we ran that. The whole time I'm rocking with Samurai Banana. I met Samurai Banana my third day of college. He introduced me to all my friends, including the woman that I eventually married. And we just rolled together constantly. He was like, he pissed me off so bad. I gave my CD to our mutual friend who introduced us before I met him. And he's like, you're going to hate me. I'll never forget it. He's like, you're going to hate me, but you look like A$AP Rock. I had hair back then and a shirt, and I was like, fuck you.
Were you taller back then too?
Yeah, right? I guess he'd never seen him in real life. And he's like, you also sound like A$AP Rock. And I'm like, I tried so hard to like get away from that.
Yeah.
But it was just inevitable. The dude was my favorite rapper for so long. And he was like, and that's a compliment. Your fucking rhymes are incredible. Your beats are all right. Let me make your beats. I'm your DJ. Let's do this. Bang.
Damn.
So we're fucking. I mean, we're still. I just hugged him goodbye right before we left for tour. He's job hunting and couldn't come with us. So me and Banana and the Roosevelts basically started this crew at 55 Clemente Street, and once that house died, the Roosevelts took it to a different house. They were bringing out-of-towners in. We brought some out-of-towners into my scene too. We'd also spread out to other basements the second year.
Cool.
And kind of infected everybody else. We were going. I remember taking like a trip to Boston or two to play with the Roosevelts. I don't even think I rapped. I just think I was like there with them.
Yeah.
They'd let me hop on the kit. The second year of Clemente, I played in a punk band as a drummer, so they'd let me like do. What did I do? Let's go. Blitzkrieg Bop. They let me play drums for Blitzkrieg Bop. Okay. And I'd practice with these fucking...
a celebrity drummer.
Yeah, exactly. Headtrip on the drums. I remember I practiced with Doc Martens on, and then when I played live, I'd take them off, and my feet would be super quick.
Yeah.
And I could like...
Oh, that was...
You know, like jogging with weights on?
Yeah.
Anyway, so after we didn't have the basement scene anymore, they were playing all these Long Island bars.
Yeah.
And they really integrated themselves into that scene. And I just like followed them. I was only like 6 months behind. I followed them around Long Island. And then my dude, Creature. You know Creature?
No.
I saw Creature when he was touring, when he was hype man for Rob Sonic. When Rob Sonic put out Delicatessen.
Okay.
Saw them at the Grog Shop in Cleveland.
Cool.
On Coventry. And he sold me his CD, gave me his MySpace name and his email address. So I would just like send him all my stuff. And this whole time while I'm visiting New York to go to look at colleges, I'm like giving him my demos. The first demo I ever...
This is a nice school. Tell me what you think about this demo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm much more interested in the rap. And he was like, it's all good. It's all right. I don't even know if he was listening to him, but... First, I went to the last basement show in CBGB's. It was a hip-hop show that had Creature and... the Juggernauts on it.
Cool.
I went alone. I saw all the Def Jookies there, and I was like, hey, mad respect, I love your shit. I'm here alone, so I'm just going to go stand over there.
Yeah.
And Creature was like, this dude came from Ohio to New York to do hip-hop. And I was like, he's on the Victor Vaughn. He's on the Victor Vaughn album.
Oh, cool.
He's in, like, the Cypher part. That's like what, put him on the map back then.
Yeah.
So... playing all these Long Island bars, but all my friends are graduating now and moving into the city. Mm-hmm. And I run into Creature, and he runs this thing called the Coffee Grind. And he's like, it's at the Bowery Poetry Club. And he's like, if you bring 20 people, I'll give you $100 to play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, this is my shot. Like, I'd booked stuff in Chinatown and stuff before, just to bring my friends, but like, it wasn't a real show.
Yeah, I understand.
So he booked me on my first show. And then from there, Jesus, I'm just fucking flying through this shit. So, backing up a little, Banana's a huge music fan.
Yeah.
I'd say more than I am. Yeah. I mean, he does the podcast with NASA.
I think I've only met him maybe once or twice, but like, that last time in Pittsburgh I saw you guys, dude did not stop talking about music the entire time.
Yeah. He just loves it.
Yeah.
Which is great, because... I'm like talented at what I'm talented at, but he's a fucking librarian. He actually just got a master's in library sciences or some crazy shit. Whereas I have a master's in linguistics. I want to rap, and I like to bring people together. I like project managing.
Yeah.
I like putting people in the same room. I like helping people get their CDs recorded, organized, and released. So I focus on that aspect, and he goes and finds new people.
Yeah.
And that's always kind of,
cool.
I'm like, Tim, is he any good? I kind of think he's all right, but I don't know. And Tim's like, well, this is, he's like, this. He's always been my quality control. He's like, that song's okay. That hook needs to be cut in half. The title's stupid, and I get all angry.
Oh, for your stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He ripped me apart when we first started working together. He's like, if you can't rap it in the studio, what makes you think you can rap that fast live?
For sure.
And I'm like, no, every word's important. He's like, nope.
No, it's not.
Just take the INGs off the verbs. You know, like, and
Did
I'm
he
like,
ever rap? How's he know all this?
he's a fucking madman.
That's awesome.
He pays very close attention
Yeah.
to music.
Cool.
It's like, it's really his solitude. Like, his fucking, it's his sanctuary, the
That's
music.
awesome.
So me and him are doing this all together this whole time. And he found out about Billy Woods, Supercron Flight Brothers.
Okay.
Him and my boy Waysdorf. Again, we're just listening to Supercron. And from there, they found out about Reservoir Sound and like the associated acts of Backwoods Studios. So he was going to Yule Progs. That's our annual. God, I can't believe those are over. 10 years, NASA and.
Yeah, I know. Well.
Yeah.
You can keep explaining.
Cool. They just threw. It's our annual indie rap holiday.
Yeah.
They get a headliner that we all really want to listen to rap, like Ka, Quelle Chris, Denmark Vesey. I think those were the last 3 years. I know we got Rob Sonic to play that 3 years ago at the Paper Box and one of the Juggernauts. Anyway, so he was going to these shows and he started bringing me once I was in the city.
Yeah.
After college, they all moved to Queens instead of Brooklyn. Everybody moved to Astoria. So I slept on their couch while I finished up undergrad and grad school. I'd come to the city and we'd go to their shows. And I didn't want to let on that I was a rapper or that we were a rap group at that point.
Yeah.
Because it's just exhausting. You're like, ooh, I got a new fan. And your new fan's like, hey, you want to make music? And you're like, fuck, I thought they actually liked me. So I just like played it cool.
Yeah.
Eventually found my Twitter, started following people, and started interacting with them. I was like, I don't need their phone numbers. I'm like, they're all talking on Twitter. And then they saw us at this show that Creature threw for us. We played with cult favorite, AM Breakups and Elucid.
Okay. Yeah.
And
that's a cool show.
We fucking blew the fucking roof off. Cult Favorite's incredible. They fucking tore it up. And basically after that, we were like, all right. Bang. Maris's Breakups is like, come over to my crib. Within a year, I was throwing like all the shows for Reservoir. I was booking Woods here and there. I met Uncommon NASA. I was booking stuff for Smoker's Cough, which, you know, is Shape.
Yeah.
And GDP, Big Breakfast.
Yeah.
Wasn't on it back then, but, you know. But all those dudes, and so I became like basically.
You were like a mini, well, not a mini. You were like an indie rap booker.
Yeah, I was the indie rap booker in New York City.
That's crazy.
And that's still kind of what I am. I mean, I just finally, for the first time, met somebody I don't know who books indie rappers in New York City.
Yeah.
It's taken me
a relief,
4 years. Yeah. Oh my god. And he's like, hey, if you ever want to collab, I'm like.
No, I'll let you book them.
Yeah, right. He has all these venues I don't have. I mean, it's not easy, but I love it, and all I really want is for people to be able to play to an audience. Yeah. And I know I know who draws, and I know how to promote people right, and I don't keep any of the door, much to Sarah's dismay. Oh, she hates it. She's like, your wife. Yeah. She's like, just at least pay your tab out of the money you made tonight, and I'm like, fine. It's like bullshit though. This dude rapped his ass off tonight, and I'm headlining the fucking show. Yeah. Anyway, you don't get that a lot. Most promoters live off of it. I have a job. Yeah. I work at a bar 2 days a week, and people pay me to record them sometimes, and I also don't require much money to live, so like. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing, man. I kind of picked up the slack with Reservoir because they're a little disbanded right now. AM Breakups is between cities. He's in New Orleans. He's in Austin. So his artists, I mean, we all work together. Throughout all of this, I've been working. Basically, I put out an album in 2011. That's when I went to.
Is that like your first album? 2000?
No.
First, like, since you were in New York?
Maybe? The first one that I released was in 2008 with Banana. It's called Drumskin. Okay. Still on our Bandcamp under Sarcasmo. Okay. Second album was 2009 or 10, Raw Dog. That's me and Banana producing it. Okay. Sarcasmo is all Banana production. Headtrip is both of us usually. Okay. Next record, put out an EP, and then we put out Cousin Ed in 2012. And that was like the first CD that we got mixed, mastered, pressed, on jewel cases that are all cracked now.
Yeah.
And
hard plastic ones.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, we didn't really know.
It was
and
the time.
That was we played the Bowery Poetry Club. That was the record we were promoting. Since then, I've done a lot of collaborative albums, but mostly I've been helping everybody get their shit out.
Yeah.
Googie's album came out last August. I executive produced that. Dunce Cap, who's also a Karma kid.
Yeah, when did Karma Kids form?
So when I was in high school, my boy Resin, who I was freestyling with, went, "We are the Karma Kids. You end up dead from the harm you did." And he blapped. I can't remember the second half.
Yeah.
So he moved in with me when I was living in that house on Long Island.
Oh, really?
He dropped out of Pittsburgh. Smartest dude I know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He got like a 35 on his ACTs. You can only get a 32.
Okay.
I know nobody takes the ACTs. It's all SATs. But it was fucking insane. He just went to school and got like a 0.1 GPA because he was fucking just having fun and living his life and exploring his mind in other ways, drugs. And so he just came to live with me my sophomore year, and we made a record together with Banana, which was the first Sarcasmo record, Drumskin.
Okay.
Then our other friend came out that summer to live with us, and I made both of them solo records that I produced with Banana. And then they left before we could really finish them. The summer was over. There's a little bad blood there. Everybody was upset, and I wrote Raw Dog and put out my first record since Drumskin, so that's only like a year later. 2 years later, we put out Cousin Id, and then I've been helping people put their albums out ever since. I got the Impervious Machine shit with Def Tech, little glitched out beats.
Yeah.
But since Raw Dog, I've been writing the record that I'm promoting on this tour.
Okay.
I've been writing it for... I mean, I guess technically some of those songs are 8 years old. Or started 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But I've been carefully crafting them since Cousin Id came out. So it's really been my first real solo project in 5 years. And it's really difficult to be like, okay, all the artists that I manage and help and produce for, I need to focus on my own shit right now.
On hold, I know.
Yeah.
I've been your mom for the past however long.
And they're all, most of them are super independent. I mean, I'm Googie's manager.
Okay.
There's no way around that.
Yeah.
He's really good at what he does, and I'm really good at what I do, and we just fucking connect really well.
Yeah.
He's the only Karma kid who made it on the road this time.
Cool. I noticed, anytime you hit me up for shows in Pittsburgh, I'm like, this dude's, he's on his P's and Q's.
I make the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I understand what a booking agent's looking for. I booked this whole tour basically, right in a couple cities, but I'm good at it. I like to be organized, and I like things to be neat and to make sense and to have a nice order to them.
Yeah.
But I also have this side of me that's
creative.
Just wants to, and beyond that, just wants complete chaos.
Yeah.
That's the Headtrip part of me.
Right.
Patrick really is the dude who runs the Karma Kids, and Headtrip makes music that's just fucking disgusting and angry and sad and wrong, and I don't agree with half the shit that comes out of my mouth when I'm Headtrip. But it's something, there's something in me that wants to say it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be like, hi, welcome. Okay, this is the back line, here's the thing, blah, 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 blah. And by the end of the show, I'm screaming on stage with my pants around my ankles and my shirt off, pouring beer all over myself. I saw Milo's face the first time I booked him. He's just standing there oh my God. And then at the end of the night, I pay him, and I'm like, thanks, here's a little extra. Hope we can work together again. And if I'm too fucked up, my wife slides in and handles the money.
Yeah.
We nice. Really run shit together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. She's mega down for it.
Well, I mean, she was my friend and fan far before I met her my freshman year of college.
Cool.
Best friend in the fucking world. And I mean, it was me, her, and Banana.
Yeah.
We always held each other down. And then by grad school, I was just like, all right, I can't take it anymore. Let's do this.
That's awesome.
So she's been on board since day one. I'm a really lucky guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Luckily, the people I've surrounded myself with have stayed true to their character.
Yeah. They're not pretending this is great. You're doing cool with this rap thing.
Right.
And then 2 years later, they're like, you should quit.
Yeah. I'm a lucky guy.
Hell yeah.
She's actually talking about well, I don't know. I shouldn't say any of this publicly yet. But we're making moves. We're staying in New York, and we're hoping to make it easier to keep this scene flourishing.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. So do you have like long-term plans of staying in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. She wanted to move to the West Coast or something because she fucking hates the winters. But she's interested in like booking now. She's like kind of taken over some of the booking from me, so that I can focus on other parts of the label. And yeah, she's looking into what it takes to be a part of a venue, you know, and so hopefully we'll have some shit awesome. Popping off in the next couple years. We have like a 2 or 3 year plan.
Yeah.
Well, she does, and I finally got on board. Basically, she wants to open a venue, and I was like, I work at a bar. It's going to be your entire life. You're going to suck me into it. We're never going to be able to leave. And then I realized I was being a dick and that I should be like, yes, this is exactly what I want.
That is exactly
I live.
You're already doing all the work. Without, you just, do that.
I just have to email people to book shows.
Yeah.
It'd be just easier to just, and so, I mean, the ideal situation would be to live above it and have it actually be my entire life and have my studio downstairs. Like, it'd just be Clemente, but on a legit larger scale. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. The Broosevelt's first shirt they ever printed was in Pirates font with 55 Clemente on the back because, because of that.
Dude, that's sick, though, with the venue thing. I always think, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing in Philly right now, but I'm like, if I would move back to Pittsburgh, I would, like, it's so cheap there, too. I'm like, all right, I would try to, like, work for a few years in my dad's shop again, and, like, it's like I'm buying a building, I'm doing a venue, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, like, I'm not gonna fucking move back to Pittsburgh to, like, do nothing again.
That. When'd you move out here?
Like 7 months ago.
Okay, cool. I just totally, I'm sure you told me you lived out here, but I just totally fucking forgot.
Yeah.
I almost invited you to my show in Pittsburgh that I'm playing at the end of tour.
Yeah, I saw you playing that, and that's a new DIY venue.
I heard.
I want to check it out.
It's exciting. Do you know Reason?
I'm in a Surface Level Records with him.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet him. He's really, man, when you're trying to book the your tours and people are like kind of getting back to you, like, oh, it's rap. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of punk rock. And they're like, oh, it's punk rock. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, okay, it's Googie then. Just give him Googie. Listen to how happy he is. Look at his smile. Everybody likes Googie. And they're like, I guess. When you hit people up that are like, dude, your music's sick. I'd love to have you guys. I'm going to get you something good.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he did.
Yeah.
So I'm amped. I also have a lot of friends in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kent, it's not that far.
Right. It's like, where are you going to go, Cleveland or Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Columbus. If you really want to take a jump, you go to Chicago.
Yeah. Cool. I think this show's getting ready to start.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. Do you have any...
Yeah, I got to shamelessly plug this album that I'm touring on. It's called The Comedy of the Filth Beast.
Okay.
Sketch 185 helped me come up with the word comedy. I really wanted...
Heard that word before?
I've never heard it before in my entire life. I thought he'd made it up, which is why I named my record that. I just looked it up on the internet yesterday. Turns out, mad people use the word. I'm pissed. Sketch, I'm coming for you. I basically wanted a title that kind of explained that I am Patrick and I am the Filth Beast.
Yeah.
And Headtrip expresses all sides of that. For years, I wasn't able to play any of my music outside of a punk rock scenario because those were the only open arms that I found. Mm-hmm. So I made my music, to cater to the environment that I was in. I mean, I wasn't catering; I was just, in it.
And it sounds like at the same time you like carved out your own path with this indie rap shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a bunch of, the record's way too personal for me to show anybody. I'm super embarrassed about the content, just because so much of it's so close to home and so true. Mm-hmm. Once I'm done with this tour and I fucking rip my heart out on stage and eat it in front of everybody for the billionth time, I'm going to remember this is just what I do and I'll be fine with it. But I'm super excited. I have zero PR. So I have a bunch of videos that I made with Mike Petro, who's Dunce Cap, who does most of our videos. And I produced it from start to finish. It's all me. It's the first time that I've shown anybody. The last time I produced my own album, I was 18. So it's been 10 years, Okay. Yeah. It's dope. I hope people fucking love it. The first track's a doozy. It's really fucking heavy. I don't know why I always have to start off my records screaming. Ugh, these poor people that like my music. But I've gotten a good response so far, and I'm super excited about it. And I assume that this isn't going to go up until it's out, so just go to the Karma Kids Bandcamp. If you Google LT Headtrip, you'll find me. I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
I am extremely Googleable, which is one of the reasons I picked my name when I was 17.
I used to have that. I'm like, well, I need a name people can search on
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I called my mom on my way back from New York, like, Mom, Google on a flip phone. Google Headtrip rapper. She's like, there's one dude in Canada. He hasn't put anything out in a couple of years. I'm like, Google LT Headtrip. Nothing. Lieutenant rapper. Nothing. I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
That's me. Hell yeah.
Cool, man.
Well, I'm glad you're in Philly.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. You're mad close.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta take advantage of being this close to New York City.
Yeah. Come on down. I got a big-ass apartment.
Hell yeah.
I got a guest room / studio.
Hell yeah.
Always welcome.
Cool, man. Well, pumped to check out the new CD. Hope the tour goes well. Hope I get this up before it's all irrelevant. But,
cool.
Yeah, man. Thanks for doing
I'll pester you a little. Hi, Levin and Gruff. I love you. My forgotten Karma Kids.
Yeah.
Look all. Headtrip!
We believe that he had preferred to die alone, in an exile only partially self-willed. And it is true that his death was confirmed only by certain authorities who had long wished for his death. I believe that this is what they had said. It is difficult to recall so many dialects when one has remained so long in isolation.
I ate my twin in the womb. Different taste, bigger appetite, natural sacrifice. Now I'm homesick in the room. Alone I can't navigate my path at night. I stuck my head in the oven for a breather and I huffed that gas down. Fuck if I ain't passed out. I stuck my head in the oven for a fever and I changed my mind but I stayed inside. I've grown callous, me in my stone palace, with no outlets or throne to challenge. So callous, me in my stone palace. I'm not a coward, I'm withdrawn. Callous, me in my stone palace, with no outlets or throne to challenge. Yo, I'm so callous, me in my stone palace. I'm throwing mallets at the walls. I fill my own chalice and it's on me if I happen to spill ounces upon gallons upon the ground of my home. I've lost my balance. Let's use bones are the loudest. It's time we ground another loaf. I'll probably find my way when I denounce this fucking oath. But I smell the blood of a coward and a poacher. So for now I got a prowler to choke or drown in my paranoia. Self-sufficient, sufficiently selfish. I'm the freshest and the sickest and the eldest. I ate my twin sister in our second trimester, and I doubt I'll ever treat someone as delicate. I've grown callous, me in my stone palace, with no outlets or throne to challenge. I'm so callous, me in my stone palace. I'm not a coward, I'm withdrawn. Grown callous, me in my stone palace, with no outlets or throne to challenge. Yo, I'm so callous, me in my stone palace. I'm throwing mallets at the walls.